Welcome to pre-Diwali celebrations at the Coffee Con Show. It's at the Coffee Con Show powered by the Emerging India Forum and TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. The series is Stree Shakti, and we have with us a guest speaker, Lakshya Sivaramakrishnan, building bridges between tech, inclusion, and impact. Lakshya is more than a tech professional, she is a change maker. As a technical program manager at Google, she has been instrumental in driving digital access to credit for consumers and merchants. Beyond her corporate success, Lakshya founded Prayogshaala to mentor and upskill young women engineers, bridging the gap between academia and industry. A TEDx speaker, Women Techmakers leader, and a tireless DEI advocate. Her journey is a masterclass in combining technical expertise with empathy, vision, and community building. In this episode, we dive deep into her story of leadership, resilience, and impact, and we also come to know Lakshya as a person. So, welcome, Lakshya, to Sri Shakti series at the Coffee on Show, and you're celebrating Diwali with us.
Thank you so much, Amir. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm super excited with all the questions that you're going to throw at me.
Yeah, so let me explain you. There will be three rounds: professional journey, personal journey, and a surprise where you are in the hot seat, like your coffee with Karan, and here's a gift: AI in the workforce, which will be autographed and sent to you your Diwali gift. So let's begin. Friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Corner, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. So my first question, Lakshya, how has the journey shaped up, and what were the key defining moments you had?
Sure, Amir. I've been brought up from a very humble background, moved from Mumbai to Bangalore in the pursuit of better opportunities for education. Managed to, do my studies here, went on to pursue my bachelor's in engineering, master's in technology, and then went on to work for couple of industries here, mostly healthcare and Google. I think some of the key moments is one of it is definitely doing that master's degree in understanding how important it is to put some of your theoretical knowledge into practice. I think the master's degree really opened doors. And the next one probably is really, working with GP and solving some of those real world problems. And you can literally see the impact that you're creating in the hearts and minds of Indians. So I would say these two are the key defining moments.
Wow. So let's build up a conversation. How do you balance corporate innovation with social impact?
Yeah. I think it's not an or question, it is and. We need both of it. Corporate innovation is our bread and butter. But I come from a very strong value system of paying it forward. And that is only possible if you can make life better for somebody else, right? Who probably, I would say, is not as privileged, as who does not have as many opportunities as you. I think it's more of a responsibility that you leverage your corporate skills, your all that you learn in industry setup, and pay it forward and create more opportunities for people who don't have it necessarily.
Wow. So let's go memory down the lane.
Sure.
What's the toughest challenge you have faced in driving adoption of digital credit, and how did you navigate them?
Sure. I think the biggest problem, from a very data standpoint in India is not many people are eligible for credit, and the reason for that is they don't have a credit footprint, right? How many Indians do you think have credit cards, right? How many Indians do you think are aware of credit products like this, right? So I think that's the biggest barrier that we're trying to solve for in ensuring that, irrespective of where you're in India, you have access when you need it. And there are different constructs, like, some of them, some of the lenders are more willing to take risks, whereas some of them would need some, secured assets as a guarantee. But I think the Uber problem that is the most challenging is making sure at least a majority of India has access to credit, and that's something that drives me every day to work.
Like introduction, it was about credit for consumers and merchants. So, can you briefly talk about this role of yours by when you say credit for consumers and merchants, because these are two different segments.
Yeah, so this is I basically work for the financial services team, and this is across small and medium businesses where your GPay is enabling small and medium businesses to avail loans, to avail credit lines, and on the consumer side, we do have personal loans, credit cards. How are you enabling that? How are you ensuring that you're doing a better job in helping lenders underwrite better and obviously reduce the risk, reduce the amount of defaults that they get. So that's the problem statement.
So, Lakshya, you have worked across healthcare, data science, and fintech. What skills have helped you stay adaptable across industries?
Sure, great question, Amir. I think one of the top things is having a growth mindset, right? Which is being able to, being willing to learn, being willing to, have that curiosity in you to find out, okay, what is it that I need to do to, really excel in this. So that's the first thing. I think the second thing is communication, right? How are you able to put across your point, to align, people around you very respectfully, but very thoughtfully and smartly? I think these two are the two top of mind skills that I can, pick out, which have been like real, almost a transferable skill job after job.
Wow. So, Lakshya, your next hat, leading DEI efforts in tech is no small feat. What's one barrier you have seen consistently, and how do you work to break it?
I think there are multiple barriers. One of it is lot of times we are, primary caregivers, be it for children, be it for elders, and we are getting better. We are, learning to outsource. We are having equal partners, but today in majority of India, I mean, it's a very commonly used phrase where marriage, maternity, and motherhood are often barriers primarily because of caregiving, right? So that's one thing for sure, but um, looking at the bright side, I think lot of policies in organizations by governments are empowering women to like come out to step up in addition to these responsibilities, right? I've attended conferences where they have tiled up with childcare, where while you attend the conference, the childcare takes care of your child. So these are very powerful initiatives that are being taken today. There was a barrier, but we are very proactively seeing how can we get more and more women and people who identify themselves as women come across to these mainstay spaces, conferences, summits, boardrooms, and whatnot.
Wow, beautiful. Okay. So, Lakshya, how did your experience with women tech makers shape your vision of equity in technology?
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot from somebody who, very shyly sat in the last row of a conference that they conducted, to leading the program for India, to, working with multiple global stakeholders. I think there was a lot of learning. And I think the biggest gift from that program that I got is its people. both role models that I got to work with, or even people whom I was able to inspire, who still reach out to me, given it's 4 years since I've moved out of the program. So um, from somebody who was a beneficiary of a program like this, to understanding what are the real challenges, what are the real barriers, especially for women developers within the country, and what are some of the strategies, what are some of those levers that we need to give to move the needle in this space. I was also fortunate to do a research, along with a few colleagues, where we understood what are really the barriers, right? Caregiving came out as one big thing. Things like not having enough role models. I think today I'm fortunate to say I have a lot of women role models around me, right? I don't know if they would say the same thing, right? So just to get different perspectives in this whole spectrum was something that was very intriguing, was and at the end of it I feel like very gratified that both I was able to receive so much from this program and also give back in terms of coming up with schemes and coming up with a lot of programs, a lot of initiatives which did move the needle in having like more women developers, coding, being part of hackathons, more women speakers in tech conferences. So that was pretty much my involvement with Women Techmakers.
Wow. So, Lakshya, how has the leadership style evolved over the years?
I think definitely empathy being in the forefront. Some of the global leaders I look up to, Sudha Murthy, Jacinda Ardern, Sheryl Sandberg, they've all, led with empathy, but also with courage. I think it's a very powerful combination of empathy and courage, which I hold very close to as my value. Also, with the people I work with, I think I look up to a lot of leaders around me, and empathy and courage has come out as a very common factor in all the leaders I look up to. That's already something that I've started very consciously putting across in my leadership style, but that's also something that I would want to keep with me and latch on to for a very long time.
Beautiful. So, Lakshya, how do you mentor your young tech professionals who are part of your team?
I got to do a lot of this when I was part of the Women Techmakers program, because I was very closely working with ambassadors across the country, right? You have people from the tier one cities of, say, a Mumbai, a Chennai, who have a Bangalore, who have a lot more insights about how the industry is moving, to a lot of tier two, tier three cities where there's interest, there's enthusiasm, but they just need the right amount and degree of channeling, and that's where I saw my role, right? So I was very fortunate to work closely with a lot of folks, people from Jalandhar, Madurai, yeah, and lot Indore, lot of these spaces, and you also get to know what are missing in these. Why is there a tiering in the cities? It's basically because of the exposure, because of the number of people around you, the role models you have around you. I think a lot of this plays into how you bring up the next set of leaders. I was really fortunate to I'm really grateful that I got that opportunity to do it with these ambassadors, and we typically became like a family. We had to run a huge event in India, and COVID hit, and we were like, okay, what are we going to do it took a group of 20 folks to come together to put together like an event completely virtual, having like the best setup, like even with the best of infrastructure, there is like that Murphy's Law, which always comes in, where like Wi-Fi does not cooperate with you. In spite of all that, we were able to like put across this event, got like almost 2000 plus attendees, virtual attendees over 3 days. And that's where I realized leadership is also about how you pass on your skills, for your next set of leaders to emulate. I think that was a very big learning that I got as part of that event.
Wow. So, who's influenced you or has been your role model or mentor from for your so many things you're doing?
I think it's not one person. It has all evolved like this whole right from my school they said excellence is a habit, right? It should be an habit which you develop. To my teachers, my mother, I remember like even now she's like that. If she's never happy with a 99, like that quest for excellence comes like right from your upbringing to how people around you, your family, my husband, even my 3-year-old daughter is an inspiration to me in many things, right? She pushes me to do things where she cooperates and I feel like, oh wow, right? Like if she's cooperating, that gives me like more inspiration to move forward. Two, there are a lot of role models that I've worked with, at Google, outside, before Google, who have really shaped me up in bits and pieces. So I wouldn't say it's one person, but a lot of like it really takes a village to make a person, and I've learned a lot from a lot of folks whom I work with.
Wow. So let's come to your social initiative. What inspired you to start Prayogshala? I'm dividing two, three questions. So, what inspired you to start Prayogshala? What's the story behind the naming of Prayogshala? And third part, how has it evolved since its inception?
Yeah, this is an initiative very, very close to me. Starting off with the origination of Prayogshala, I did a fellowship with Shinomics. It's called Lead Like a Girl, where they say you have to do one impact project where you're touching lives of a lot of women, across you, and you can figure out what your audience is. They made us do this ikigai experiment, activity. And I think something that stood out for me is women in technology, especially young women in technology, because those are the ones that you can mold. And when I did this activity, I wanted to create something that will uh, probably accelerate their journey, accelerate their path, especially women in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, right? That was my prime audience. The way I went about this is I have attended a lot of workshops, both within and outside Google, which have really shaped me, which has given me insights and exposure. And I wanted to bring that to those tier 3, tier 2, tier 3 city engineering college girls who can really learn and gain that confidence, if not anything, right? You can still learn your lessons in your college, but that confidence, that all those soft skills is something that I wanted to bring back. So I started this as a week long boot camp. I just went, along with my contacts, with my word of mouth, in reaching out to different colleges, teachers, students who can like sort of put this across. I think I got like about 100 applications in the first 6 months that I did this. And then there was a shortlisting criteria, people who were available in that 1.5 hour time frame that I would do. It was a 6-day boot camp, right? And because it was COVID, all the people had the bandwidth to join in and really enjoy these. So the whole curation was completely done by me. I try to mix it up with soft skills and tech skills. So things like running your own script, automating a lot of your mundane tasks using app scripts, or building your own website for yourself. What does it take? Right? And a lot of women often don't talk enough about themselves. So how can you talk about your improvements? How can you get rid of imposter syndrome? How can you lead with courage? These were some of the modules that I had as part of that boot camp. And when I took feedback, I found that a lot of people benefited from it, and they would point their next batch of juniors back to the program. So the way it evolved over time is, given we're not no more in the COVID world, I sort of packaged this 1 week boot camp into a 1 weekend boot camp. right? Where Saturday and Sunday you get together and cover these same modules, but a lot of these that you do over the week happens like, post the workshop. But you have the templates, you have the right tools, and you move ahead with it. I felt this was more scalable and more, with more people needing it, you could probably run it multiple times in the year. So that's how it evolved. How did the name Prayogshala come? I think this was something that my husband and me thought of, like just the word experiment, right? And Prayogshala literally means the school of experiments. And for me, this was a big experiment to see how can I make a meaningful impact in the hearts and minds of these young women. And that's the whole genesis of Prayogshala.
Wow. So, what's been the most memorable moment at Prayogshala?
I think every graduation ceremony we had, when people told about what they learned, what changed for them, each of them were defining moments. I remember there was a girl from Goa who was in the first year of engineering. Typically, this program is like more focused towards second and third year engineering students. She was from a non-computer science background, first year of engineering. Really took time to pick up, but she has managed to stay in touch. She's managed to like keep me posted about how her progress in her engineering has happened. She got placed, she moved out to do higher studies, and when they come back and keep you posted, it is like really gratifying. That true sense of paying it forward, like really making an impact of to the society, comes in there.
Wow. So, looking ahead, what's your big vision for the intersection of technology, inclusion, and society?
Yeah. I envision a world where technology really plays an equalizer, where equalizer in the sense where real human potential can be realized irrespective of which strata of the society you come from, what gender, what identity you come from, but really tech playing that equalizer. And today we are seeing products and tools and technology which is paving a path there. But to see a world where this is leveraged more is surely, certainly my vision.
Wow, beautiful. So, my last question for our professional journey round, Lakshay.
Sure.
Many young women aspire to leadership in tech. What advice would you give them?
I would say I have a couple, but the one that rates the highest is ask for what you want, because there's always 50% more chance of you getting it. This is something that I've held very closely, and I have surprised myself time and again. So always ask for what you want.
Beautiful. So, let's go to next round and understand Lakshay as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
Yeah. So my family comprises of my parents, my sister, and me. We were typically a family settled in Mumbai. I still call it Bombay for the love of it. So we stayed in Virar, which I don't know how it is today, but that it was very less access to like the best education. I studied till class 6 there and then moved to Bangalore, primarily for education. My dad continued to work in Bombay and would shuttle every 40 days. While my mother took care of me and my sister. We were very fortunate to have, extended family support. We managed to get into like a really good school where your focus was not only on academics, but a lot of focus on sports, on arts. And I remember my mother would always say, you do whatever you want outside your academics, as long as you score well in academics. So we could take part in like whatever we want. Like I've enjoyed playing basketball even post school, all the way till my masters and even beyond, only because that interest and curiosity was sparked there right in the school. So yeah, and I really lovingly remember my teachers, my founder of the school. Always find reasons and ways to go back. So those were my formative years. I always wanted to be a doctor because only doctor and teacher were the only two professions I knew about. Um, until one of my teachers actually said, you are interested, like math and science were my favorite subjects, math even today. So she said, why don't you, engineering is a field, why don't you, pursue that and explore that? That's when I actually got to know, okay, there was something called engineering. And then I went on to be an engineer. I did my bachelor's from Sir M. Visvesvaraya Institute of Technology in Bangalore. Again, amazing set of professors. I did way beyond academics. All my public speaking, your debate, elocution, all of that was like really put to use there. Um, and then I thought, okay, yes, this was interesting, this was challenging, but I need to learn more. I need to get more practical knowledge. Applied to multiple colleges around the country for a master's, and I was fortunate to get into Triple IT Bangalore. Again, that was life changing in many ways. First time you're out of home, leading a hostel life. Got an amazing set of friends there. Turned out that I also found my life partner there. But beyond all of that, I think the kind of education, the kind of emphasis on practical learning, live internships, I think was all crucial blocks in taking me to where I am today.
Wow. So, which is a hobby or interest which helps you to unwind and recharge?
I don't have a great answer here. I think it's not a hobby. It's more a responsibility. I think I love spending time with my daughter. And after a long week at work, I think my go-to place is just stay at home and just catch up with friends at home. So I've become I'm a very social person, but I love to hang out in my house, and definitely that over exotic holidays as well.
Wow. So, if your friend had to describe you in 3 words, what would it be?
I wish they would use courage, empathy, and resilience, because those are the three values that I hold very, very close to me.
Wow. So, which is a book or movie which has left a lasting impact on you?
Book, I don't read much books, but I think I read Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg and My Life in Full by Indra Nooyi. Both very relatable, like very resonating, and also like good takeaways that I could implement in my own life.
Wow. Beautiful. So, what tradition or festival do you most enjoy celebrating with your loved ones?
Okay. I enjoy all the festivals, but if I had to pick one, that would be like the Ganesh Chaturthi festival. I'm sure you can relate to, given you're based out of Bombay. It's something that my husband and me, and now even my daughter, we do it like very passionately at home. We don't get the idol. We use whatever idol we have at home, but just the whole sentiment, the mood, and like just coming together, making those dishes, doing the puja. And now, of course, with like a larger community, you're part of a society, and you also like extend your celebrations into the society. But that's something that really stands out for me.
Wow. It's okay. Uh, since this is Sri Shakti series, what does Sri Shakti mean to you?
I think it's really what it says, like the Shakti, the power that we have as women to change the world. Both, I mean, we see that we give life, but there's so much more that we can do. In from making change in whatever we are doing in our office spaces, to boardrooms, to even beyond. It's just that power that personifies Sri Shakti to me.
Wow. Since we're celebrating Diwali, what message would you like to give to our viewers out there?
Yeah, stay safe, enjoy lighting diyas, and I think one thing that personifies Diwali, irrespective of which part of India you are, is togetherness. to celebrate. So celebrate this time with your loved ones. Yeah.
Wow. So my last one is a googly one. Describe Lakshya in one line.
Okay. A courageous, empathetic, resilient individual, hoping to change the world in my small way.
Beautiful. So let's put you in the hot seat, the rapid fire round.
Wow, this was.
Code or community?
Pardon?
Code or community?
Definitely community.
Your go-to comfort food?
Curd rice.
You're a morning person or night owl?
Morning person, especially in the last 4 5 years.
Your favorite color?
Purple.
Okay. Your favorite TED talk besides your own?
I like the one by Amy Cuddy,
Wow.
where she talks about body language and all of that. I think it's supremely useful, irrespective of what profession you're in.
Wow. Public speaking or project management? Your bigger adrenal rush?
Or both. Both. It's very difficult for me to pick one. Both of them are
Wow.
adrenaline rushes.
Equity or efficiency?
You mean equity in terms of like equality equity or like
Yeah.
equity in terms of stocks? Definitely
And
equity.
equity. Yeah.
Equity.
Best piece of advice received?
Received so many. I'm thinking which is the um, yeah, just everybody has imposter syndrome. Just get past it and break the shackles and move
Wow.
on,
Beautiful.
march on in life.
Your favorite restaurant in Bangalore? Bangalore now.
uh, well, it's not like one restaurant, but any Udupi style restaurant where you have so you have lots across, but yeah,
Wow. Your dream travel place?
the mountains,
One leader you would love to have coffee with?
Indranui,
Tea or coffee to recharge?
either depending on the mood of the day.
Let's
But I
look
would
through.
say coffee because I'm speaking to you.
So you did well, and here's your book here
Thank you
in the
so much, Amir.
workforce. So as we close this conversation with Lakshya, one thing stands out. She embodies the spirit of Stree Shakti, where intellect meets empathy and impact meets innovation. Whether being a technical program manager, empowering young women engineers, or building inclusive tech communities, Lakshya reminds us that true leadership lies in lifting others along the way. Her journey is a testament to how one person's vision can ripple into many futures. Here's to more voices like hers shaping tomorrow's technology and society. So, like that, there are over 500 plus coffee speakers who shared their professional, personal journeys, insights. Subscribe, implement those insights in your lives, and you will see a change. And we continue a conversation or cup of coffee with another speaker. So, thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Yes.